Hi y'all, welcome back to my shop. If you're an experienced wood turner, I know you can relate to this. If you're a beginner, you'll get to it one of these days. But when people find out you're a wood turner or woodworker, sometimes they don't know the difference. They just know that you do things with wood. Next thing you know, you start getting odd pieces of wood, all sizes and shapes and whatever, and you got to figure out a challenge what to do with them. And here's this little quick project today of making a cutting board is how I dealt with some of the stash that I got. Let me show you what that stash looks like. I had a friend of mine give me some really nice maple from some project that they were giving to them, some type of bookshelves of some sort. Some of these maple boards are laminated, some of them are not laminated, but it's quite a stash, and I was trying to figure out, well, okay, what am I going to do with this? First thing I'm going to do with this piece of maple is cut it on the table saw. Next thing I'm going to do is round the corners off on the bandsaw. I got these French curves that I use for these kinds of projects that kind of help me. So I simply find a curve that I like. This does not have to be precise. And then just mark it. Do a similar shape on this side. So now let's cut the corners off of this block on the bandsaw. Okay, I'll round these off on the sander. We'll skip video on that step. Now all I got to do is drill a hole here for the handle. Okay, I measured halfway between this board, and I'm going to mark for drilling a hole. I tried to do this on a drill press, but this was just too high for my drill press. So no problem. We'll just use an electric drill. I'm using a 1/2 inch drill bit just because I think that'll be big enough, and I'm going to drill it down maybe an inch or so. Taking time because this is end grain. Now let's do the turning. Okay, I'm going to choose a contrasting wood walnut, and I marked centers, although it's a little off center because of the shape of the grain, but it's plenty big. So I'm going to put this in the step center. On this side I removed the point so I wouldn't do as much damage on the end, and I can kind of center that by eye, and that'll be close enough. So first thing I'm going to do is just rough this round. Alright, quick way to rough this out with a skew on small blanks. Let's see how that works. I'm going to take out just a little bit at a time, not too aggressive. I've got a kind of a concave, or rather convex shape, not straight across. So let's mark that 3/4 inch. So I use a 3/8 inch parting tool. Now just to kind of eyeball it, this part right here is bigger than 1/2 inch, so I can go ahead and get down to there as a reference point before I get too concerned about anything. Chamfer that a little bit. Now I can use this, take a little bit more, my 1/2-inch wrench sharpened on the top. Make sure I'm pressing on the bottom. And that gives me a pretty close approximation. And now I just need to clean that up just a little bit. I think this will work. That's a nice, very nice snug fit for a glue fit. Alright, here's this apprentice collet chuck. I did a review of this earlier if you didn't see it. This is a great chuck for these kinds of projects where you got a long long tenon that's an exact match. We'll take out that one. I'm going to use my soft touch just to give a little bit of support. Just a touch. Switch to a smaller tool rest. So I get in close. And we're going to start on this end with the decoration. Turn a knob on the end and a little bit of a bead. We're not going to get too fancy. I'm going to taper down from the middle. Actually, this is a good place to switch to a skew. Smooth. We got rid of that flat area there. Come on down a little further. My skew is not sharp, so let me take a diamond hone and just stroke it a little bit. I like to put it under my arm like this, and just 600 grit diamond hone. Okay, let's see if that'll help a little bit. Yep. Crisping that up just a bit. we'll sand that, and that'll be good. Back this off a little bit to put a bead here, but we got lots of a long tenon to hold it, so I don't view that as a problem. And then all the effort is going to be down on this end, and I can clear that safely like that. Again, I think I'm going to use this small 1/4 inch detail gouge and just come on back here. Okay, we'll sand it and call that good. Always like to do a dry run before I glue up. That fits nice. I think it looks nice. The problem I ran into, and I don't know if you can pick this up, is this wood is almost an inch thick, and this is more than an inch thick, so it won't lay flat. So I got to go back, put this back on here, and take the beads down and the handle down a little bit for it to not hold up the board. Okay, I turned 3 handles since I had enough wood for 3 cutting boards. I glued the handles in with a waterproof carpenter's glue. I used Tite Bond 3. I finished it. I sanded them. I finished them with Mahoney's walnut oil. It's a utility finish. It's good stuff for kitchen things. It gets in the wood and gives it a nice sheen. It's easy to replenish, easy to slap on. I let it dry a few days. It's different from the kind of food grade walnut oil you get at a grocery store, because that will take a long time, if ever, to cure. This is food safe, and it'll cure in a while. It may take more than a few days, depending on the temperature and humidity and everything. So I usually wait a few days before I use one or give it away. I know this hadn't been much of a turning project, but for you flat workers, you might have a lathe. Time to dust that thing off and use it for something like making simple handles, and give it a try. Thanks for watching.